Hey, welcome back, everyone. My name is Briggs. This is my dad right here. We're the
Welcome!
owners of Miles Pellet Stove. Yes, welcome, welcome. And we're bringing you guys another pellet stove related video today. We do not have a pellet stove on the stand right now, but what we are going to do, kind of following up on our last video with the convection fans, is we're going to talk a little bit about the exhaust fans. Again, with the same trend of what to use and what not to use. Dad, what do you got to say about that?
It's time to talk. This is great. Thanks for viewing in. Today we're going to talk about the exhaust fans. And so sometimes with a little bit of maintenance, you can keep your exhaust fan going for a longer period of time or even a short period of time in case you have to buy a new one. I get it, but we're going to give you some tips and tricks that will help you get by. So join along with us. Ready?
Definitely.
Let's show you. Well,
all right, let's do it.
Okay, let's go. Now, let's look at these exhaust fans. Now, these exhaust fans and your pellet stove are running constantly. So they're just getting hotter and hotter, and over time, they start to wear out a little bit, or they bring in a lot of dust and dog and cat hair and maybe some nutria hair. I don't know, but it's all coming in, and sometimes the motor doesn't turn. So you got to possibly clean it a little bit to bring in the longevity of the stove, or not the stove. Good gracious, Briggs.
It's okay, just roll with it.
I'm so burnt out,
You're
but
fine.
you know what?
Need more coffee?
The longevity of your motor, or just to keep that exhaust motor going for hopefully another day, 2, 3, a week until you get a new one. So here, follow along. So here it is. So here's a couple different models. Now, this is like a self-contained motor here, and you may have this. And a lot of them, if we go over here, Briggs, the motor is more exposed here that you can see. So a lot of times, this is going to be on your stove like this, and your exhaust is going to come out this way. Well, on the back side of it, there is your impeller or fan. And so when this rotates, it blows the bad air out. But a lot of times, you get a lot of debris in this area and in this area here. Now look at this. I got this at Harbor Freight. Now I feel like a real techie here, which is fine. But right here, when this motor turns, right in here, this cylinder, here's the other half of the cylinder, this spins. So here we go. That spins. And a lot of times you get dust, dog hair, whatnot in there. Or if your stove sits for a long period of time, or if you have a little moisture in your house, sometimes this cylinder will actually seize a little bit. So to take care of this, you can take a toothbrush, brush in there like this, and on the tip here, or you can use a paintbrush, same deal. Or if you have a can of compressed air, or if you have air compressor, you get it.
I love the sound effects.
So yeah, that's for free. So anyway, so usually if the motor is not going or it's barely turning, you may be able to save it with a little bit of oil here. I'm going to show you. But a lot of times, if you hear a howling sound, it's screaming or chirping, and the bearing is going out, that's a good indication. Please buy another fan and be prepared. But to try to save this, there's a lot of type of catalyst, lubricants. I get it. You get it. Please don't use PB Blaster. It's good for a lot of things. WD-40, household, not really good for any of these fans. Let's set that aside. Let's go back to the traditional household oil 3-in-1. This works pretty well. So after I clean this, on this particular fan, if you have one that looks like this, the motor, take a little bit of it right here. Right on the tip here. Just let it sit. Just let it sit there a little bit. So, and then, right here, you're not going to hurt anything. Just drop a little bit right in there. And on the other side, just a little there. You don't need a boatload, folks. And so, once that gets going, is let it sit. But see, this is going to be against your stove. So you're not going to have your hand back here being able to spin it. So what you want to do is you can take a screwdriver and just kind of work it in a little bit, moving that cylinder little bit by little bit by little bit. And then you can turn on your stove and see if this starts to move and move and move. And a lot of times it'll just go, and there you go. But if it's chirping, there's a red flag. Order another fan, get ready. So you have it in your kitchen cabinet, in your garage, you get it. But a lot of times you can keep these things going just with a little bit of 3-in-1 and a little bit of cleaning. Because good golly, when you open up your stove, you'll see how much debris starts to cover this motor and it won't turn. So that's another way. But if you have to replace this, I'll show you how. If you go over to a cylinder like this motor really isn't exposed. It's in this cylinder. So if you look around the circumference here, I'm going to spin, spin, spin. There it is. That little hole right there. So here we go. I would do this every year when you do your maintenance. Just drop just 1, 2, 3 drops. So what happens, that's going into, good God, it's going into here, and that's lubricating that end. And so that will really, really help. And so just let it sit for like 3, 4, 5 minutes and start up your stove again and see if this starts to rotate and move. It's kind of cool. You'll have a little drippage here. So I have a little cloth underneath there to keep clean. So basically most of the stoves today, I can tell you, they have a 6-inch plate here.
Here, heads up.
We got a cloth? Oh my gosh. We'll just take this out. You get it. So I'll set this down. 3-in-1. So if you have to replace your fan, folks, usually there's 2 connections. You're going to disconnect them. And around the circumference here, there's going to be 6 screws or nuts. It's a 6-inch adapter plate. And behind that plate is your fan or your impeller. And so all you have to do is just remove this and then replace the new. And if you have to replace the new, here we go. This is a nice shiny new one. Look at that. So they come in a kit. Most of them do. Make sure that you have the gasket. Gasket's really important. Safety, safety, safety. So this gasket, when you remove the 6 screws here and you take the motor, the impeller, and this plate off, and you're just going to have a plain shell. So when you have that, you put your gasket down. Look at this, folks. Super cool. This is all ready to go. Here's your 2 leads. Right here. We'll set them aside. So you're going to have your gasket, which will go here. You get it. You just put the new one down with the gasket, with the 6 screws or nuts, and you're done. And then plug in these 2 connectors. And what's nice about a lot of these kits, you'll have a male and a female connector. Well, my gosh, this is a bonus. They give you 2 male connectors because sometimes instead of a male and a female, here's a, female, you may have a male and a female. Well, they give you, most companies, a couple extra connectors here that are encapsulated or safety. Use these, don't hillbilly it. And so anyway, this is kind of what you could do. They're easy to fix, but again, 3-in-1 oil, it may get you through. And just, even if it's a day or a week, in a short amount of time until your new fan comes, you still got heat and things are good. So thanks for joining in. Hopefully this helps you out.
All right, everyone.
Okay, let's go.
Dad, you did a great job. Man, you always give me that.
Well, you know, I want to say something. You know, one thing I did forget, and it's very, very important.
Oh, bonus.
It is a bonus. But if you do have to change your fan out, always unplug your stove first before you do the repair. So back to you.
Very true. So yeah, no, I just want to say, Dad, you did a great job. I'm kind of just summarizing what you just, did all your showmanship on is, yeah, these products back here, PP Blaster and WD-40, they got us juices and they're great products, but for fans and stuff, it's not the best idea. We've heard of very fun stories of people using stuff like WD-40 on the fan. Quick fix, and all of a sudden that thing is sounding loud as ever just a little bit later once they're all comfy in the living room. So we want to help you avoid that situation. So definitely with the 3-in-1, even if you find some fan specific ones, definitely a plus right there. And then also, yeah, If it comes to worse than the worst and you have to replace your fan, no worries. You get a new one, and like my dad said, you're good to go. And if you want a more in-depth video of those exhaust fan changes, I believe on our Quadrifier section, we've done at least a couple. And so if you really want to see the whole process, check out that section on our YouTube channel.
I agree. You know, we have a lot of videos out there, and so again, the 6-inch plate, I mean, you'll see it like on some Breck Wheel videos and some Quadrifier videos. There's some other ones we've done, but you can kind of see how Briggs made that repair. It'll save you money. But I would, if you hear some chirping noise and it gets louder, a little bit louder, please be proactive. Order a new fan so you have one in your garage, your kitchen. You get it so you have it and you're ready to go, so you don't have that stress, so you have heat for you and, of course, your friends and your family, as I always say. So let's wrap it up.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.
See you next time.